Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War with a Great War mod. Last time around, as always it seems, we were fighting, well, all around Vienna. We seem to be fighting there a lot. Two battles right here. We've got September 1917, Battle of Austria, and then the Battle of Lundenburg, right over there. Hopefully though, these will be the last battles of Vienna. My plan is to move this army over to block the bridge over here, as I feel that this area is now safe. We'll let the Scottish contingent, or the Scottish brigade, heal up, but I'm also now recruiting tanks for my advance towards Bohemia, and we're also recruiting a lot of mounted infantry which will chase this force down here. Now I imagine they probably are carrying a few cannons with them, but if I recruit enough mounted infantry, I'm sure I will just overwhelm them. So that's the plan for the center part. In the north, we've got Edmund Allenby, and he's now within striking distance of Saxony, so I'm hoping that we should be able to, within next turn, be able to jump over and attack and take that. You know, leaving Germany without one of their best provinces, I imagine. If you don't... Yeah, it's actually, you get more tax out of that than Poland, even though Poland is bigger. And with talking about Poland, here we got Sir Douglas Haig ready to advance. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, striking here, it looks like it's just barely able to draw in this army. Fighting two German armies could be interesting. But without assurance that, I mean, if I fail there, it will take a very long time for me to recover to come back here. And there's a risk then that the Russians go in. And I think we all know what the Russians are going to do with the Poles. So I do think we want to get in there and, quote-unquote, save them before the Russians get their hands on them. Interestingly enough, they're actually... Oh, it's 55% Protestantism as of this. Wait. And then 15% Catholics. 15 Judaism and 15 Orthodox. Not entirely sure if... Well, not that I know the demographics of Poland in 1917, so maybe I should not say anything. But here is where I thought we'd start off today's episode. I'm holding off on all the naval invasion, or not the invasion, but the naval battle as of yet. What I want to do is I want to make some ground, so we're going to attack Moldova down here and take that from the Germans. And it'll be interesting because we're once again we're going to have massive amount of flamethrowers, but we're also going to bring in the rifle bombardiers and tanks as well to all of this, and also trench gunners. Actually, quite a few trench gunners. So it's kind of a mad lad army in terms of all these smaller squads that we have with funky weapons. Ooh, not a great setup for the funky weapons dudes with two machine guns ready to annihilate us, but otherwise there's a lot of targets that we could quite easily destroy. All these infantry battalions. Anyways, the flamethrowers, the trench gunners, and maybe even the rifle bombardiers will throw up so much dust that once the Germans have sort of reorganized themselves, ready to, you know, wipe these smaller units out, the tanks have probably rolled up just in time to wipe them all out. With that said, let's go ahead and attack and start this battle. There we have it. our land ships, the tanks, ready to roll on to the enemy. I've placed them on my right side, moving through the open towards the enemy position. As they're kind of prone to getting destroyed by enemy bayonet charges, I have put the 2nd King's Africa rifles on the side here. Actually, I should put them on this side, now when I think about it. And they should hopefully deter attacks, or at least stop them by shooting down whoever's coming at them. Then we've got the regular infantry set up here with the artillery in behind, and here's all the funny stuff. So we got the trench gunners in front, followed by the flamethrowers, followed by the rifle bombardiers, or bombers it actually says. And as you can tell, one of the problems we had in the last battle where we used a lot of flamethrowers was that because of HDR, I mean, it was kind of a whiteout similar to what you get in that. I actually used it in one of my videos where I did the Skyrim meme, where the flamethrower, you know, if you're really close to it, it sort of the burst just turns the screen completely white, and then you have, and suddenly you're in the Skyrim startup. Hey, why are you with us? Or I can't remember what the quote is. Anyways, right. With that said, let's go ahead and start. We're gonna start having the tanks roll forward, pretty slow, so that's a good start. And then we're gonna have the infantry start to move forward. The enemy isn't moving. Neither are they deploying their artillery. So we're kind of safe in that. Right. That means that I can take my time to plan my assault upon the enemy's position. Then it's not then necessary to shoot these cannons down. It might be better then to shoot down, say, the machine guns. Might be a better target. And just as I target them, they start to actually move. I imagine they're actually moving to try and deal with my tanks. Possibly. Most likely. Oh, they've started to fire now even. My tanks should be able to return fire, I think. They are coming under fire now by the machine gun. I'm halting them and telling them to return fire. Gonna spread out the rifles over there. Are they deploying into line, or what are they doing? Are you gonna... Yes, now they return fire. Good. Keep up the fire. That machine gun fire plus the artillery should destroy these guys pretty darn soon. Yeah, they're now very much getting destroyed by my machine gun tanks. Unfortunately, the terrain here is not very suitable for a mass charge of flame troopers and shotgun wielding maniacs, but we'll do our best. So there's a lot of weak troops, the home guard, but I'm not too interested in dealing with them. What we might do... Well, I don't want to block too much of the field of fire for the tanks, but we want to drag the fire, but some unit that isn't gonna evaporate immediately as soon as an enemy returns fire. So we're gonna move up the infantry. Oh, now they're moving. The enemy's moving now. The shotgun guys. Okay, they're starting to fire. We can also throw grenades with these guys. Let's set grenades for the first part of this. Okay, move forward. And the flame troopers will move just behind. And then the bombardiers will move just to the edge of the forest before firing. Right. Let's see. The tanks. Soon enough. Moving into position. Let's see about these guys moving forward here. Didn't I tell them to run? You've lost half your group just because oh, here we go. Right, so that makes it a lot better. We're pushing a lot here for the game and computer to handle with flamethrower attacks. Oh, now comes the shotgun blasts, hand grenades, shotguns, and flamethrowers. Oh, can someone fire up the side here? Yeah. Wonderful. The shotgun units probably don't think it's wonderful, but I certainly do. It's just like, what really can I say? What can I really add to this carnage? More than just look at it. I would be thinking that the Germans would evaporate much sooner. But the units are holding on. Surprisingly well. Maybe you should shoot at the enemy general. We've lost a surprisingly high amount of infantry here. How come we've lost so much infantry? We've lost tons of infantry out of the infantry brigades. Or infantry battalions. And I couldn't tell you why. Certainly it's a friendly fire. Was it really just because they, the overwhelming numbers? That they were able to cut. I wasn't paying attention. That's probably one of the things. There's a lot of Germans coming in here. Can I get the bombardiers? I'm gonna pull the bombardiers back. Flame units at this point. Gonna turn this way around. And then we might want to focus some attention towards this side. Not really getting a good angle for the machine gun tanks. Gonna move them forward. move them around a little bit to get better angles. We're gonna get the African rifles over here. It's actually losing tons of troops. Okay, this group needs to fall back even further now. The bloody Landsturm. Break them already. Great. Let's see here. What do I have? The 2 infantry units. Forward. The 2 bombardier groups. Get out into the open. Infantry continuously fall back here towards the hill, and then we want all of these smaller groups to close in on the Germans that are advancing rapidly. Tanks to move forward onto that side. The enemy coming very close here. Actually, you will be ordered to fall back even further. Is that enough to break them? Who's out of ammo? African rifles forward. Oh, enemy machine guns. Yeah, another group. Let's try not to lose any infantry groups here. More than necessary. Do I have reach? No. I do not. Very high losses for our force here. African rifles, once they set up here, should be pretty good. Yeah, that's the enemy machine gun, I imagine. Once the tanks move into range, that will be gold. Come on, just any second now. Should be able to target these. Actually, should already be able to target them. General dealing with these bastards. Let's not have our general destroyed by that. Smaller groups move forward. You're not able to fire, are you? Continue forward. Right, there's basically no one left. Oh, halt!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fire the flames onto the horses. I'd imagine that would scare the horses to the point where they would all kind of run if someone were firing flames at them. Maybe you can fire onto the go on. A few hand grenades or just fire your guns. Fire the artillery onto that mess. But the field gun's still alive. The tanks are focusing on the field guns when they should be focusing on the dragoons. You will be in a position to wipe those cannons out. Like, the cavalry still remains, but so does also that one... Oh. Now he's gone as well. He's gone the way of the dodo. He's extinct. Right, open fire. When on earth will you guys open fire? I say guys, those are the female version of tanks. There we go. Now it's gone. Are you able to cut these down? I can't really see where the shots are landing. Well, clearly they are hitting because these guys are crying a little bit. Oh, out of ammo. King's African Rifle. I didn't realize they were firing so much that we're out of ammo. So there's quite a few units missing here. Now that was to be expected, but I didn't expect to take that heavy losses among my normal infantry. That's to be that was quite unexpected. Anyways, let's go ahead and end the battle, shall we? And here's the result of that battle. We deployed 1,500 men, losing 1,100, leaving only 400 men left after the battle. Compared to the enemy, which deployed 2,480 and lost 2,480. We also note here there's about 200 plus friendly fires, which isn't great when we lost 2/3 of our force, even a bit more. What I can see is, I mean, a lot of the special troops that were expected to die died, so 4 flame units, and then plus the 3 shotgun units. So everyone else managed to survive, but those units died out. So even though it looks bad, I'm quite surprised that the tanks ended up as high. I didn't think they were doing that well. Then we have a flamethrower down to 79, infantry at 169, light howitzer. At this point I would actually like to see... It's a shame you can't. We got some trench gunners only getting 24 kills, some flamethrowers 38, 69, rifle bombardiers 80. Not the best use of flamethrowers, unlike last time where we actually got quite a few kills from them. So here a lot of the regular units performed quite well, and the tanks. It would be interesting to see, since we lost so many men, we lost 1,000 men, more than 1,000 men. It would be interesting to see who actually killed those. But anyways, we have taken Moldova. At some point, human waves. Yeah, that was basically what he was doing. Human waves. Losing 2/3. Definitely, that's a fair assessment of him. Now we do have troops coming in to reinforce, and that will do just fine. We even got a center of learning and culture. Now we're gonna give this region up to Romania at some point, so we'll preempt reunification. And or preempt, I mean, not preempt in the historical sense, but you know, there's been talks about maybe it's better to join with Romania than become some kind of either a failed state within the Russian sphere of influence, or some other form of arrangement, none of which is you know, necessarily good for Moldova. With that said, I don't think we have any more moves to make. It would be this one right here, but I think that's rather a dangerous one, and probably a big battle, and I wouldn't want to sort of put those two battles together in one video, because that kind of would this would probably have to be just its own, just because I'm expecting so much from fighting through there. Anyways, I think we'll go ahead and end turn and see what how the enemy responds to this. The October Revolution. Despite achieving its primary goal of toppling the Romanov dynasty and installing a democratic regime, we're there's a revolution going on. Oh, bankruptcy? It's gonna happen all over the place. The question is, the Russians have pretty strong armies set up in a lot of these different towns. Damn, everything is really gonna go topsy-turvy. Well, not really everything. This one seems to be holding out, but a lot of others, and it seems though as because they got full stacks everywhere, which is probably why they're also having financial difficulties. And this might be hard for the revolutionaries to cut through. Okay, telescope. Whatever. Right. So, I'm not going to advance here. But what I am going to do is we're going to start the advance over here. And as we got a little bit more money now, it should be enough to start repairing most of the infrastructure in this province. Which we already have. Now it's only about striking this force, which I should hopefully start with next turn. But what you didn't see in between turns here was that a large force of French troops have been moving in through Saxony, and there was a battle at the bridge where the Germans actually saw the French off. But as you can see, they lost about 3 units, and a lot of their units are quite cut to size, so I should be able to have a pretty easy fight here. Now they've got 2 heavy artillery, but look at the infantry units. At least half of the units has been cut down. I mean, this will be a cakewalk, really. So without further ado, let's have Edmund Allenby go ahead and capture Dresden from Josiah Herring. Here's the plan. I have cavalry over on the left. They're gonna swing in to aid, taking out the machine guns over on this side. There's also a few home guard units on this side, but the main thing is to take out the machine guns. So they're gonna storm forward as the Canadians, as we can already see, are up here ready to start shoot at these guys. We also have the sappers joining in to hold this kind of area, and we're gonna, you know, I put 5 units here. There's a few Landstorm unit and machine guns, but we should be able to blow them up pretty quickly. As that is happening, the Indian troops, or the Indians, in this case the Indians, 1st Africa Rifles, West Indies, Indies and West Indies, and then some regular troops are going to move forward to hold the rest of their line in check, and hopefully this will work out. So the machine gun fight is definitely something that we need to keep an eye out on. I'm gonna have one of the artillery now, luckily for me, there was actually a wall right there, as you can see. Now we're losing quite a lot of troops out of this unit, but at the same time we're producing a lot of fire down upon these guys. And now the cavalry is coming in. And now I can actually switch over. Kind of interesting here. We're bombing Dresden, as it were. We're putting quite a bit of pressure on the town. Right, now the cavalry is going in. You boys can hold fire, because the cavalry will go in and take out the machine guns. And I think we can make a run. Okay, so we've already actually met the enemy over here. I'm gonna arrange the troops accordingly. That must be the cavalry, I imagine. Hit them before they are ready. Now there's a few machine gunner guys running about there. We'll open fire with the Canadians. Deal with that. Enemy general just died. We'll hurry through with the cavalry. Maybe we can even get the second home guard unit. I was hoping we'd be able to set off bombs, but doesn't look like that's gonna happen. Actually, this one's quite weak, so I'll have that one move into the house and the other one move beyond. Oh, the cavalry actually did its job. Let's continue on to the next one. For the artillery, which currently isn't firing at all for some reason, they should all be focusing in on the heavy infantry concentration over here. Go for the artillery. You'll just get shot down by friendly troops if you continue there. Let's have the Canadians move through. So a lot of these weak units are falling apart due to the concentration of our fire. Now these units I expect to fold, so I'm gonna start moving these units already, and I'm just gonna turn the cavalry around to attack the guards. We're gonna start moving these guys. So the cavalry is striking, cutting down what's left of this guard unit, going back to the artillery. As we're swinging around with these troops, the absolute concentration of artillery fire and rifle fire is absolutely annihilating the German units over here, to the point where they don't even see fit to return fire. There's some Austro-Hungarians turning up over there. What are they planning? I guess I didn't check the fact that there were gonna be some reinforcements. Looks like also, in terms of the bombing of Dresden, we didn't actually destroy that much, so be thankful for that. We've got machine guns beyond. That's kind of important that we target them now. Why is it taking so long for the cavalry to deal with those guys? Right, move through. And then we can have... guess the Canadians can move in and deal with that. As the rest of the army now moves forward here to close the distance with these machine guns and destroy them in the process. Oh, it looks like they, well, the Austro-Hungarians are actually going to bomb more of Dresden than we are, because the Austro-Hungarians have deployed their guns and they're currently shelling this house on the edge of town. So far, I'm actually not doing that much damage to it. And I'm sure we'll be able to return fire in sufficient number to destroy the enemy before they are able to destroy that house. Machine gun any second now is going to go. The cavalry, as that comes closer, the hussars, going to get absolutely murdered. The cannons are already murdered. And the cavalry retreats. Oh, it came back just in time to die, I guess. As these are reinforcing units, it would be nice to destroy them, so that we don't have to see them ever again. But it looks like the fast-moving hussars are gonna make it out alive. Well, most of them anyways. Victorious, and Dresden has fallen to us. We lose 704 men, while the enemy lose their entire force. Noted that we kill about 200 of our own. The rifle cavalry is actually the highest killer in this battle, followed by the West Indies regiment, and then Indians, infantry, and then we've got howitzers, and so on. As we go down through the list.
Siege is broken.
But there we have it. Dresden has fallen to us. We can kind of see how many French troops were moving through. Actually, we don't see more than before, so it's not actually that interesting. But this opened up a way down to Prague, as well as we now have a route up towards Prague. The real concentration of German troops now is around Silesia and Poland. There's a few in Lemberg, but it's not a huge force. And I mean, at this point we can't really expect the Russians to be doing a lot. I wonder if... do we have any cavalry unit or anything? I kind of want to see if what's going on in Budapest. Like, are they gonna revolt against the Russians as well? I imagine a lot of these places are. That could actually open up for, you know, I don't know if there would be Austrians to retake this. I know that, I mean, if Hungarians come up, there's gonna be a Hungarian state and so on. Huh. That's gonna be interesting to see which states are actually gonna be able to detach themselves from Russia. The thing is, though, the Russians are really strong. At the same time as I'm saying that, the Russians are, of course, having bankruptcy issues. Like they're spending way too much. If I ended my trade deal with Russia, how much would they actually lose? Russian Empire. Quite a lot. We would also lose a lot. We lose 2,400. It's the one after France that we're trading the most with. So we would lose a lot of money as well. But I've got money to lose. And weakening the Russians might actually be more important than holding on to a few coins. We're gonna go over here and check. Oh, there's German troops over there. Let's go ahead and see. Oh, this one's got so many troops that the revolt is actually pacified before it even happens. But I imagine... I mean, they have a big stack even here. So we can expect to maybe not actually see that much in terms of revolutions throughout Russia. But even if they hold on during the first batch of revolutionary battles, it might become a lot more after. Anyways, very good today. We managed to capture 2 areas, Dresden and Moldova. Now we just need Prague, Silesia, Poland, and the Galician Lemberg region. Once that's taken, the war is definitely over. I mean, I would say at this point the war is really over, because, I mean, they don't have much of a chance, do they? In reality. But the war continues still. Oh yeah, I completely forgot here. I'm kind of hoping the Romanians move in and take this. But who knows what's happening there. Anyways, with all of that said, I say as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.